Greetings, greetings, greetings. I am Nicole Everett, the host of Conversations with Nicole, a talk show based here in Tallahassee, focused on connecting the community through conversations. And today we are doing a virtual meet and greet, a virtual launch party for Ms. Dee Jackson, who is the candidate for Gadsden County Tax Collector. I've known Dee for quite a few years. I've known her to be very community minded and a proven leader. So I'm going to introduce to some and present to others Mrs. Dee Jackson. Yay! welcome,
Yay!
welcome, Dee. So we had a little bit of technical
Hey, Nicole.
difficulty. I appreciate you being here. Had a little technical difficulty, but we're here. We're live. We're ready to meet
Ready.
and greet the people. So,
Absolutely.
for those who may not know you, tell them a little bit about who you are and what you currently do.
Well, I am Dee Jackson. I am mother of four, wife of almost 24 years, currently a process improvement manager for the Leon County Clerk of Court's office,
Mhm.
and I'm running for Gadsden County tax collector. And I'm
Oh,
very excited about serving the citizens of Gadsden County.
awesome, awesome. So, born and raised in Gadsden.
Absolutely. I've been in Gaston County my whole life. I attended Gaston County Public Schools. My mom was a school teacher.
Mhm.
My grandparents lived in Gaston County. All of my family are from Gaston County. I've served this community in so many capacities in education. I worked in the correction system as a school teacher as well. I worked at the health department as a health educator.
Okay.
I've done so many things. I've been the county administrator. Uh, you name it, I've done it. I
Okay.
volunteered in this community. I've served this community. It's what I love. When I wake up in the morning and I go to sleep at night, seriously, I wake up and go to sleep thinking about how I can help this community. I really feel like I was born to serve this community.
Awesome. So I'm going to invite the folks out there. I see a number of them watching us, but I can't see exactly who they are because of the platform that we're utilizing. But let us know, any of the Gaston County folks. If Gaston County is in the house, just put the city in the comments and we'll give a shout out. And I also want to encourage you, if you have some questions of Dee, by all means, put it in the comments and we'll get those answered for you tonight. So while we're waiting on folks to do that, I want to just dive right in and let the folks know, why you want to be the next Gadsden County tax collector. What's your platform?
Okay, platform. Well, before I talk about my platform, while I was a county administrator, I got a chance to see a whole lot of things. And one of the things that I noticed is that usually the tax collector's office is one of those few constitutional offices that's self sustaining. And what I mean by self sustaining, it pays for itself. It does not need county dollars to take care of itself. And our tax office kind of does. And I kind of looked into that and why it does. And there are several things that could be different without talking about the current tax collector. I just feel like there are some things that I could do better. And one is to bring in more revenue.
Mhm.
One is to make things more convenient. And when I say convenient, I do believe that we could do better by bringing that office into the new age.
Mhm.
Oh God, I'm losing my words. My slogan for the campaign is let's modernize the way that we do business. I do
Mhm.
feel like the website is very antiquated and the office is antiquated. I want to add more technology to the way that we do things in Gaston County. There needs to be an app so that those persons who like to do everything online or from push of a button can actually do that from push of a button. But I want to make sure that we have good customer service so that those people who still like that face to face can come in the office and have shorter lines and have a good customer experience when they actually do walk into that office. But for those who do want to work to be able to access those tax office office functions from home, they should be able to do it. And I want to make sure that all of it, as much as possible, all of those functions are accessible from their home. And I've noticed that in other counties, when you look online, when you look on their websites, they have apps, they have websites that have pretty much all of their services available right there at their fingertips, and ours is not. So by doing that, I just feel like I could drive a whole lot more traffic to our tax office for some of the services that we give to other counties. Another thing that's, I think I combined several of mine all up in one, but transparency is something else that I think that's missing. We have a lot of families that lose land, and they're not really told how they could actually keep that land. And I also feel like Gadsden County is it's it's not really small, but it's small when you consider the number of people. And people know each other here. People love each other here.
It's a close knit.
Yeah, it's a close knit kind of group. We're different, but we're different in a good kind of way. And I do believe that communities would pull together if they knew that it only took $100 or $200 for Miss Sally to keep her property. And that type of transparency needs to be put out there instead of it being sold on the courthouse steps. That type of stuff I really feel like needs to stop. I do know that that's the process, but we could be a whole lot more transparent and put people through a process so that they can keep their property and make it known, not just to a select few how that process goes as to purchasing that property, but let those people know who are actually losing that property, and maybe those people in their community know that they're losing that property before that property is actually lost. Something else that I noticed while I was the county administrator is there are other counties, and Leon more specific. Gadsden County owns a whole lot of property that they have taken from families, and they're not trying to put that money back on the books. And when I say money, all of that land is not currently collecting any taxes because the county can't tax itself.
Right.
But if there was a nice, beautiful home on that property, then that property would collect tax. So why is it that we don't have a program like Leon County does, where I give Nicole Everett a piece of property? I'm talking about give it to you free.
I'll take
it to you free. But in 1 year, you got to put a house on it that's actually going to generate revenue for the county. Now, that's something that I presented as a county administrator, and our current tax collector didn't support, and I don't understand why. And that's the only thing that I'll say about the current tax collector. Corporate responsibility. I do feel like all government offices should have some level of corporate responsibility. And what I mean by that is give back to the community. I'm already working with several educators, and I'm putting together a program for third grade children. And I actually want to institute a program in the Gadsden County Public Schools with third grade kids to promote careers in math, business, and also teach financial literacy. I think that's very important. And a lot of times kids think that math careers are just those higher level math careers, like being an astronaut or an engineer. And a lot of them don't even know about those careers, by the way. They don't even know that drawing a car could actually lead to being a mechanical engineer. But you could actually just know how to use a calculator and be an investment banker like my son and make a lot of money. Or you could just know how to use a calculator and be the next tax collector like Dee Jackson.
Right. Absolutely. So for those of you who are just watching us, this is our virtual meet and greet of future Gadsden County tax collector Dee Jackson. I'm encouraging you all to put your comments and questions in the comment box. We're broadcasting from Conversations with Nicole as well as Dee Jackson's page. I do see Janita, who is checking in from the big city of Midway. So she is a Gadsden County resident. And, hopefully with this meeting group, you will win her vote. All right. So she also gave a comment. She said, I just started listening to the city of Midway, and they were talking about there are businesses in the city that are not paying taxes. So, interesting. So maybe looking at some of the, business tax revenue that could be generated for the county, that might be an issue to take up as well. So let's get to what makes Dee Jackson qualified. I mean, I know you talked about some of the occupations that you have had within county government, but what do you feel makes Dee Jackson qualified to be Gadsden County's next tax collector?
Well, I do feel like I am uniquely qualified to be Gaston County's next tax collector. I could easily go down my resume, but I don't want to do that. What I will say is that I am qualified. I did attend Florida A&M University School of Business, which I feel like is the best school in the world.
That's right. I graduated from SBI too.
That's right. And I did my internship in Brazil, a little time in Sao Paulo, and part of it in Rio de Janeiro. I
Okay.
did some extensive projects there. I'll talk more about what I did as a county administrator, since that's more recent and that's something that more people know about. I do feel like a lot of my accomplishments purposely were overshadowed. And so I'll talk about those a little bit more. When I got to Gadsden County Board of County Commissioners, the budget, it had not been balanced without going into the reserves for 7 years. So for the first time in 7 years,
Wow.
we balanced the budget without going into the reserves. And what that means is we didn't go into the county savings account. We balanced it with what was there instead of just spending recklessly.
Very
The Something
Mhm.
else that maybe the citizens of Gaston County may not know is there was talk of privatizing the EMS services, because
Mhm.
every year they were nearing $1 million
Mhm.
deficit. Every year it was $1 million deficit that they were having to go into the county savings at the end of the year and pull from, just to make up the difference, because they were that much in the red.
Mhm.
Well, for the first time, I got EMS in the black, and they are still in the black.
Okay.
And that was the first time in over 20 years. Also, for the first time in over 20 years, EMS has a full staff, and they still have a full staff. Before I got there, nobody wanted to work for EMS,
Oh
and now they
wow.
have a full staff.
Okay.
Um, also, Hurricane Michael, and I want to be very clear, I am not Jesus. I'm not Jesus. It's just that I'm one of those people where when I don't know, I lean on people who do know. And there
Mhm.
was a network of county administrators all over the entire state who I was able to lean on and ask for advice. And when Hurricane Michael hit, one thing that I took into account is that there are no rules when you are under a state of an emergency.
Mhm.
And what I knew is that during a regular month, a county cannot help cities without cities paying. Well,
Mhm.
if you go outside of our county, most of the other matter of fact, I haven't seen any other counties where they don't look like they just got hit by Hurricane Michael maybe a month ago. The
And
reason
Hurricane
why
Michael, just to interrupt you for a moment, Dee, Hurricane Michael, for those of you who don't know, occurred in October of 2018. October of
correct.
2018. So, we're talking almost 2 years since that hurricane hit, and there are some counties that are still recovering from the effects of Hurricane Michael.
Correct. And a lot of those counties still look like they got hit yesterday, if you are honest with yourself.
Mhm.
And the reason why most of those counties still look like they got hit yesterday is because they didn't do something that we did do. Because there were no rules, what I did was I had all of our city managers to go into interlocal agreement with the county, and I cleaned them up just like they were the county. And so all of the other counties left their cities to fend for themselves. And of course,
Mhm.
those small cities don't have that type of money to clean up themselves. So
Mhm.
that's why we look so good. So, I'll give my own self a pat on the back for that one if nobody else does.
Way to go. Yes, yes,
So,
love it.
but you asked me how am I qualified? Those are just a few things when it concerns revenue and actually making, a difference with a little bit and knowing how to lean on other people. But our current tax collector walked into the office with the AA degree. I'm walking in with an MBA. And what I don't know, I will know. I will learn. I am willing to lean on other people. I've already connected with a couple of the tax collectors around the state. And I do
Mhm.
feel like I'll be able to learn everything that I need to learn and be able to continue on without missing a beat the same way the current tax collector did when he walked into the office 32 long years ago. I think it's time for a change. It's time to modernize the way we do business. And it's time to just do something different.
Okay. Janita came back on with a comment again about the city of Midway. So she said EMS left the city of Midway in 2018 after Hurricane Michael. We do not currently have the service, but the commission voted to bring it back. This is absolutely unacceptable. I hope they move expeditiously. So, yeah, I know that, smaller cities within the county, they have their own jurisdictions, but again, maybe that's something once you get into office, you can help them with some of that. I know when in dealing with other municipalities, they have their own nuances and things of that nature. So, but she's bringing up a issue that the city of Midway is going through.
Well, I've heard that before, and I don't know all of the facts that are related to that. But what I will say is that that is a issue that should probably be taken to if the board for the city of Midway did vote for it to come back. That's probably something that should be taken to the board of county commission to their meeting to discuss, and that is something that they can fix.
Okay, wonderful. So I'm looking at some of the comments on your page, and a lot of support here, a lot of support. So I see Natasha Hackley Carter saying, "My roots run deep in Gadsden County. I can't vote there, but I'm encouraging my family and friends to vote Dee Jackson." Yes. So we want to talk dates. So election is coming up on what's the election date in August?
August 18th. Please
August,
vote.
August
And matter of
18th.
fact, don't even wait until August 18th. I'm encouraging everyone to vote early. Make sure that your vote is counted.
Mhm.
Vote August 7th through the 15th. Please
That's,
vote early.
that's
And
early
if
voting.
you yeah, and if you haven't already requested a absentee ballot, please do so. I think that that's probably going to be the most effective way to vote these days with
Mhm.
everything that's going on with COVID-19. There will be a different way that we're voting this time. I don't know what those changes will be, but I would strongly suggest that you try to vote early or you get an absentee ballot.
Yes, so you can vote by mail. If you are not registered to vote, you have until July 20th, which is my birthday, July 20th, in order to register to vote to be able to vote in the August election. Also, Amendment 4, which was passed almost 2 years ago, now allows felons to vote that don't have a sexual uh, crime as well as a murder. But they are also allowed to register to vote, and we anticipate that they will be voting in both the August and the November election. So encouraging, those who have felony records to go to your not tax collect, to go to your uh, look, I'm trying to send everybody to you, D. Go
Tax
to
collector.
your supervisor of elections office and get registered, and vote in this next election. Your vote is your voice, and you want to raise that voice loud and clear, right? You want to raise that voice loud and clear. So, how can people connect with you, D?
They can connect with me, of course, through Facebook. Those who are already on my Facebook page, I do check my inbox regularly. They can also check my web page. Is D4 Gas and Tax Collector, and that's all one word spelled out: DeeForGadsden. Uh,
Right.
TaxCollector.com. Spelling bee.
Right. I'll put it in the comments too.
And
Yep.
anyone who wants to help, you can also sign up to help me on my campaign through the website as well, or through Facebook, because I do still need volunteers. I do still need contributions. This is a countywide race, and it is very expensive to run a countywide race. And any way that you can help, whether it's holding signs or telling your neighbor to vote for me, or putting out signs, or uh, walking door to door your neighborhood, and just telling everyone that you know me, or that you saw me on this meet and greet, and
Broadcast.
that
Yeah.
something I said meant something to you.
Mm.
I would really appreciate it. I do really feel like that it's time for a change, and I feel like I'm the right person to make that change.
Absolutely. Very well said. All right. So I'm going to put one last call out for questions and comments. Anita did come back on and ask, when will the sample ballots be posted online? I think you need to check with the supervisor of elections office for Gadsden and whatever your perspective or respective county is, to find out exactly when it will be done, because I'm sure that is going to be a local thing in terms of whatever county it is that you're in. So check with the supervisor of elections, Anita, about when the sample ballots will be posted online. All right. All right. I'm not seeing any other questions or comments. I mean, you really just kind of wrapped it all up with that last statement, but any last words that you want to give to the people before we close this broadcast out?
Well, I just want to thank the citizens of Gadsden County for the outpouring of support. I have gotten a lot of donations. I really appreciate it. I've gotten a whole lot of text messages, inboxes, you name it, from people just encouraging me. I've gotten scriptures, I've gotten prayers. Continue to send me those prayers. Continue to send me those scriptures. They keep me grounded. Continue to send me the YouTube songs. I appreciate all of that stuff. Really, I do. Uh, More than you know. And support me on August 7th through the 15th. That's when I really, really, really need your help. I need you to come out. I need you to vote. I really need you to vote. Vote.
Mhm.
I want to make a difference, and I can't make a difference if you don't show up and vote. I've heard from a lot of people, oh, Dee, you got that. You got, no, I don't have that. I'm going against a 32-year incumbent who has
Mm.
name recognition. His name is on every letter that comes to every house, every bill. So that name means something to some people.
Mhm.
Sometimes when you get in that voting booth, if you don't know any other name, you vote for the name that you've seen before. So please,
True.
please, please, whether it's raining, snowing, hailing, whatever, show up and vote for me on that day, please. Every single vote will count. I really appreciate that so much. Thank you. And please keep me in your prayers. Nicole, I appreciate you. Thank you for making
Oh,
this interview sweet, because I don't consider myself a speaker.
yes, you are. You are absolutely a speaker. You speak from the heart, and you tell the people, what you plan to do. So, you again are a proven leader. Your track record is, 100. So just keep doing what you're doing, and we support you and look
Thank you.
forward to the victory. So
Thank you.
yeah, so I hope you all have benefited from this meet and greet. Please, again, register to vote, and engage with Dee. She gave you the ways that you can reach out to her and help her on her campaign. So, if you like what you saw, if you want to learn more, or hear what else she has to offer, or if you've heard something tonight that you want to get involved in, by all means, please reach out to her and connect with her. All right. All right. Well, I think we're going to close this out. Well, thank you, thank you, thank you. And we will see y'all later. Peace.